we're all adults here. We're all capable of reading a syllabus and knowing what's in it, but there are a few things I like to kind of point out and emphasize. Sometimes when we're reading through really quickly, trying to get to the important parts, we miss certain things. So I just kind of wanted to go through some things that are particularly important to me. So first of all, welcome to Women's Studies. This is an introduction. So the first thing I kind of want to put out there is that this class does deal with concepts and issues that can be a little difficult to grasp, especially if they don't reflect your experience. And they can also be kind of hurtful sometimes. You might hear some things or read some things that you didn't know, and they might impact you in ways that you didn't foresee. And that's okay. If you find yourself upset, or if you find yourself hurt or confused about anything, or if something just doesn't make any sense to you, that is what I'm here for, and that is what your peers are here for. Your classmates are there to help you work through things. All of us have different things that we respond to, so there may be some concepts and some ideas that you aren't sure you get that someone else might have a pretty firm grasp on. So this leads me to a really important aspect of this course, which is the discussion posts. This is going to count as your attendance. So I really want to make sure that if you do nothing else in this course, you're really engaging in those discussions, because that will be the place where you can ask each other questions and you can get help from each other and you can give each other help. Um, so I really want to make sure that you're using those discussion posts. They count for a really heavy portion of your grade, 45%. That's almost half of your grade. So make sure you're participating in them and that you're actively participating in them. You're reading each other's stuff, that you're asking questions, and that you're giving each other help when possible. I really think that we learn best when we learn together and we help each other. It can be difficult in an online course. And so I just want to make sure that we're doing the best we can together. We only have 7 weeks together. There's going to be a lot we go through really quickly, and you're going to feel overwhelmed at times, and that's okay, but we're all in it together. And of course, if you ever have questions or concerns, that is what I'm here for. I have been dealing with this stuff for years, so I can help you through it. I can point you to sources that are helpful as well. Secondly, I just kind of want to go through the basic setup of the course. Besides the discussion board posts, you have other kinds of assignments. You have two major kinds of assignments: a digging deeper assignment, in which I ask you to connect what we're reading to the world around you. This means that you can look up a current event that's going on, a journalistic think piece. You can look at social media discussions. You could look at a commercial or a television show or a film, anything that sparks something. So when you're reading through your stuff for this course, kind of be thinking about what you connect back to. Can you think of an example? That might be a good choice for a digging deeper assignment. Because the goal, of course, is to dig deeper into these concepts by connecting them to the world around us. Secondly, we're going to have glossary terms. In both my undergraduate and graduate courses, I've had assignments like this, and they always really helped me really understand something. A lot of times in a short course like this, we just get a basic overview of everything, and it goes really fast, and you get a slight grasp of a lot of things. But I want to help you get a really good grasp of at least two things. If you can walk out of this course with two concepts that you really understand well, we've won. Okay? So that's what the glossary terms are for. In that assignment, you're not just going to be saying, what is the definition of this term, but you're going to look at the history of it. Who coined that term? You're also going to look at whoa, I lost words there. You're going to look at some of the controversies and disagreements surrounding that term. How has our usage of it shifted in the scholarship? I have included an example to kind of help you out with that. But I really want you to kind of get a really good grasp of not just what the term means, but how it's used and how it's been used. Um, at the end of this course, you're going to have a big project that kind of helps you really think through what spoke to you in this course. I have so many options for that, which is why early on in the course, I have you go ahead and select an option, because some of these things might interest you, but if you wait till the last minute to choose it, you might not know how to do it. And so you might end up defaulting to something like traditional, like for instance, if you want to do the concept synthesis paper, that's great. But if that's not what you originally wanted to do and you wanted to do something that takes more time, I want to give you that time. So there's a reason that I have you do a project proposal. It's not just to give you busy work, it's to help you really think through what it is you want to do so that you have the time to do it. Also, I'm able to give you feedback that way to make sure that to give you ideas and helpful software and anything that I think might help you. I have an explanation of what grades mean. I have in the past noticed some students, when I don't give them an A on something, want to know where they messed up. It's not necessarily a messing up. So I have a description of what my grading scale is to kind of guide you through what those grades mean, at least to me and how I grade. I also have a schedule here for you guys. We are going to try to stick to that schedule very strictly, which is why I have made it to where you only have one major assignment besides your discussion posts due each week. The exception, of course, being for week 4, where you also have an end of course project proposal due, but that's only 1 to 2 pages. That's really just to get you thinking about it. So I don't want you to stress about that. It's just to get you where you need to be at that stage. Notice that in week 6, we don't have any modules. That's going to be Thanksgiving break. It's going to be a time for you to be working on your final projects. So I really want you to take that time and to use it wisely. Um, of course, spend time with your family, take a Thanksgiving break, but on days that you would normally be in class, I suggest maybe you get started on your work so that your end of semester project doesn't just overwhelm you at the last second. Um, think that's all I really have here. I just really want you to take away that this is a course where you really have to engage because we have so little time together, which means if you're missing assignments, if you're turning them in too late, then it can be difficult to actually pass this course and to do well in this course because it just moves so quickly. It will pile up. So be careful about that. Try to meet your due dates. I do accept late work. So don't think that if you miss something, you just can't ever turn it in, but I do deduct points because it does make more work for me and it makes it where it backs up my grading. And because in real life, there are consequences when you turn something in late. So I basically deduct 5% per day. So each day that it's late, another 5% of your grade is deducted. So think about that when you're turning things in late. I don't really need you to explain why. That's fine. I always accept things early. Always, always. So if you're thinking, I have this thing I want to do, and this week I have a couple of assignments, make sure you turn them in early and you'll be totally fine. Um, as for extra credit, I offer a lot of options, but I grade them holistically. So, what I suggest doing is looking over that early in the course, seeing if there's anything that kind of interests you to keep in your mind. Some of those options are things you would do throughout the course. So, if you're wanting to look at those, go ahead and do that. I offer a lot of options, but I grade them all together, meaning I kind of take a look to see how much extra effort you've put in. I don't want the extra credit to replace the work in this course, but if you're getting what you need out of the course through the extra credit, then that's really helpful. So if you have any questions about that, of course, just let me know.